Welcome to the Harjit and Prayer Show with your host, Harjit and Prayer.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Oh, good evening. Namaste. How are you, Priya?
I'm doing good. How are you, man?
I'm doing good too.
That's
Life has
cool.
been busy, as always, but
Absolutely.
yeah.
I heard your Yahoo account got breached.
Oh man, damn it.
Part of
Me
the
and me and what a
1
billion other
billion.
people.
I need
Yeah,
to look into mine. I do have a Flickr. I have a Yahoo account because I have Flickr.
right.
So, but I haven't used it in like a year. So
Yeah.
I should. It is a random password. It's not associated with anything else I have. But
Yeah. Well,
yeah, it's
I've had this
crazy.
Yahoo account for a long time, you know, from many years, and it used to be one of my primary email accounts, and then it integrated with Flickr and something else and things like that, and I just kept it. So like when I do purchases or whatever, I send the receipts there, kind of a thing. It's
Okay.
like a different.
Yep.
So I know, like, oh, if I bought this 6 months ago, I'll go look there because I know that's where things will be.
Yep.
You know,
Cool.
like my Amazon purchases and stuff like that. But otherwise, I'm using Outlook and Gmail, and so
Yeah. Cool.
so the way I found out was, I got home from work, and right after 5 p.m. today, and I see this alert on my phone, and from Yahoo it says, "Oh, you are one of the people that is potentially
Oh man.
compromised." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So I thought it was like one of those spam or ransomware kind of things.
Yep.
So I said, well, let me go double check this on a computer, and I checked it, and sure enough, the warnings were there, and I changed my passwords, and I changed my all my information and stuff like that, and then I started seeing it on Facebook and Twitter, and everybody's like, ZDNet was posting it, and TechCrunch, and like, oh my
Wow.
fucking god! And
That's crazy.
this breach is going back to 2013. It's
Hmm.
not even like last month.
Yeah.
That's how crazy it is.
One thing that you did, which we should point out, is that you used a method other than the one that you received the notification to
Yeah,
verify whether this is true or not. So you
right.
got an email, but you didn't click on anything in the email to
On my
verify.
phone, actually, I checked it on my phone, and
Okay.
then I said, no, I'm not going to open this on my phone
You,
because you can't really verify the links, right?
yeah, exactly.
So
And
that's when I
so
went to the, yeah,
you actually went to the account separately from that message to see
right.
if this is a real thing. And
Right.
that's a recommended security practice. For
Mm-hmm.
example, I got an email from my bank, which I thought was really weird because it said that it had a person and an extension, and just reply to my email,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. And so I actually called them and I said, and then they picked up. I'm like, oh wow, you're a real person. I got this email from you, and they're like, yeah, why didn't you just reply? I'm like, because you're not supposed to just do that when you
Exactly.
don't,
Yeah.
And they're like, oh right, and so if that's a important
Yeah,
habit,
you got to take the
habit,
extra steps and just verify and make sure that it is legit because it looks good,
yes.
it seems good, but it may not be.
So if you get an electronic communication, whether it's a text message, even through social media, like a message
Yes.
that way or a posting, use an alternative method independent of how you got it. So either phone, um, or even faxing to the number that is on their website to
Yeah.
verify, did this actually happen? But this
Yeah.
is 1 billion accounts is a lot.
That's
That's
huge, man. It's
so we'll see.
apparently this is like the one of the. I mean, this is the biggest breach ever, or something like that. In the tech world.
Yippee!
Yeah. Did
Sweet.
you hear about the new ransomware um, method or whatever it's going on, where if you want to get your stuff back, you have to actually get two of your friends ransomed. So that
What?
yeah, there's a new thing. You got to read up on this, man. It's really funny. So in order
That's
for you to get
wow.
your stuff, squared away, they require that you probably send a link or something like that to two of your other friends, so that when they get it, they're gonna be quarantined and ransomed.
That's messed up, dude.
Yeah, it's messed
Wow.
up. What is this world coming to?
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, holy cow! The sun got so bright. Okay,
Oh, there we go. Cool.
very.
Yeah.
So yeah, what else? What else is going on?
Well, I read something today, and I'm honestly really behind on my tech news. So this was from, I believe, a week ago. I read on Petrie that the creative update coming out for Windows 10 is going to have some enhanced Windows 10 Enterprise features. A lot of them revolve around security, like how things will be reported into Security Center. Admins will be able to feed into Security Center information that they find. Another neat trick that I think a lot of people have been waiting for is that when you'll be able to insert a task during the Windows 7 to Windows 10 upgrade to actually convert the system to UEFI from BIOS, which is, so that'll be nice to be able to do that on the fly. So there's an article on Petrie which we'll post that I think people should read up on when you're managing networks and if you're thinking about this update, you probably will see some benefit in those security related features.
Okay.
And another thing I'm excited about, I also read this on Petrie. Am I saying that right? Petrie? I don't know. So for a while, Azure Backup has been out, and so that is the Azureized version of DPM, Data Protection Manager.
Right.
So they have added with the most recent update, you can now back up virtual machine instances. So you can point it at your VMware virtual machine instances. So you can point it at your host, or you can point it at vCenter, and it'll see the virtual machines that are running there and back them up. I haven't actually demoed this out to see how feature worthy it is, how it differs from something like Veeam. But I think, all right, that's been a long time coming, something that I've been looking forward to seeing. And Veeam actually recently announced that they now have a product that will back up Office 365, which is an awesome thing. A lot of folks that migrate to the cloud, we know that Microsoft backs up all their stuff, but it isn't like if you call them via support and you just have like the basic versions of Office 365, you can't say to them, I deleted this message, or my CEO deleted this message and he wants it back from like a month ago. Like they can't do that. Their backup is like the whole data center went down and they bring it up somewhere else like that. They have a recovery time of a few hours. I forgot what the exact number is. And of course, if you delete a user, you have 30 days to recover the user and their data and stuff like that. So it's not the granular backup that we are used to seeing. And it's like, oh, I just thought the cloud can do that. No, you have to pay for all that kind of stuff. So now Veeam will do it with their product, which is exciting, and it's actually a free trial, so you can demo it, kick it around, and see how it works. That's something I have to actually demo and work on before the end of the year. So I'll have some more info on that. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe you can do a demo or something on the next show or something like that.
That'll be cool if we had the budget. I don't know how to do demos with this thing.
Hey, who knows? Maybe Veeam will sponsor the Harjit and Prayers show.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Doubt it.
Anyways.
But yeah,
so what else?
We'll figure out a way to do that. That's it for me.
It's Patch Tuesday.
Oh, jeez.
Make sure you guys get your cumulative patches. And December's the last one. There was an issue with a patch that came out, I think it was last week, that disabled or affected networking.
Yeah.
For Windows 10. So, but Microsoft has a patch for that came out today to fix that issue. So
that's good.
Yeah. So the previous one was superseded and expired, and now we got this new one here. So yeah, it's cool. All in Tech Connect. I've been posting it in Tech Connect and stuff. So it's all there.
That's good. Cool.
So Patch Tuesday is big. Well, so we got a Yahoo thing, and SCCM. So 16.10 has an update 1 to the
Oh, I didn't know that.
actually there's update 2 as well that just came out I think yesterday.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So update 1 it's a hot fix that fixes a bunch of other things like console, and it's a stew of things. And then I saw today, and I saw a lot of mentioning about update 2. I'm like, what the heck is that? And so I tried to get it for my SCCM environment, but it wasn't there. It wasn't applicable.
Okay.
So I questioned it on Twitter and stuff like that, and I got the answers that no, if it only changes or fixes a DLL called smsprof.dll. A version of that. So if you don't need it, then it's not going to show up.
So read the details of what it fixes, and if you're being affected by that, then only apply that.
Right.
Update number 2. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
and then there was a tweet, blog post from the ConfigMgr team, the actual product team, with some deprecated features that have been announced for ConfigMgr. So things that used to be there or used to work, they're deprecated as of, I guess, today.
Okay.
So go read that up, and we'll post these links in the video, in the bottom of the video and stuff.
Sweet.
So,
cool.
Yeah. So what else? What else you been working on, man?
I've in my spare time. Well, I'm not in my spare time. I have to schedule in fun, and so on Tuesdays I've been working on my Theremin. I've had this thing. I've had this kit for years now, almost 10 years, and I just have never had the time to put this thing together. And so I met some folks at the local maker fair, and they have a makerspace right down the road from me. And so I've been wanting to go for a few years, and finally I just went. Really nice folks. A couple of them work in IT, so we have some fun things to talk about, but they just helped me get on my way of properly soldering stuff and properly cutting things, and
that's awesome. That's fun.
It's going slow. It's going to be a few months before it's done, and then I'll be able to utilize it. But if you don't know what a theremin is, if you listen to that song by the Beach Boys called "Good Vibrations," that howling through the song, like that, it sounds like a ghost almost. That is a theremin. It's a very old instrument. It came out in the 20s and stuff, and it was considered to be like a very as classy as like a cello or a violin, and so you would see them in orchestras way back then. Yeah, and so
I didn't know this.
Yeah, it's a serious deal. If you go on YouTube, there's a ton of people playing them from the 20s and 30s and stuff, and it's like they're surrounded by orchestras and stuff like that. And so I've wanted one for a really long time. I finally bought the kit, and I could have just bought one outright by Korg.
What's the fun with that?
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't realize how much time. And when I opened it up, I'm like, oh my God, look at all these resistors and diodes. And then I recently.
I'm actually my hobby lately, which I'm hating you for it, is home automation stuff.
Don't just hate me. There's
you and Stuart Williamson and Joe and all you guys, man. I hate you guys. It's so addictive.
It's pretty cool stuff.
I had this. I know you guys talk about the Wing Hub 2 and stuff like that, which I almost got, and but I didn't end up getting it. But I had this old Smart Things hub that I bought, when it was still a Kickstarter project.
Oh wow!
So I had the version 1. And finally, I'm like, where's the box? I found it. I'm opening it up, and I'm trying to work on it and stuff. And then I realized, well, in order for Alexa to work with, Smart Things, I needed a certain version of the firmware, but that's only available with the Hub 2.
Okay.
So I ended up getting it. Wasn't that expensive. It was like $50 with a discount. I think it was like 50% off during.
Sweet.
It was just after Thanksgiving,
Okay.
and oh my God, Mike, I hooked it up. I've got like sensors, and I've got a power plug, and got that hooked up, and I'm playing with it. I got the Christmas tree, turns on and turns off, and you know,
Sweet.
and then you mentioned about the Cree light bulbs,
Yep.
and so I found those at Home Depot
Yep.
for
That's right.
$15, right, each, and it's amazing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so just one thing after another. So I'm just trying to like add on a little bit more, and just last week I ended up buying the Netgear Arlo cameras.
Okay.
And I had the previous version. They call them the view zones or something like that, and they've gone. They're not supported anymore. They don't work anymore. So I'm like, oh, let's upgrade to this.
Mm-hmm.
They're awesome. They connect to my smart things, and you know. So the
It's funny.
funniest thing with all of this stuff is that it freaks my family out. So my daughter calls me at work because she comes home from school, and all of a sudden the Christmas tree turned on, and then the living room light turned on, and she's like, "Oh my God, what's going on here?" So she goes, Dad. I'm like, "Yeah, what?" She's like, "I don't know what's going on here, but these things are happening." I'm like, and I couldn't even talk to her because I was laughing so hard at work. I was like, I was in stitches. I was like, no, it's me, don't worry about it.
That's funny.
Yeah, and and it freaked my wife out the other day because she's like, "Did you come home?" I said, "No, I didn't." No, you didn't come home for lunch? I said, "No, I didn't come home for lunch. I after work went to." No. You must have come home for lunch. I'm like, "No, why? What are you talking about?" She said, "Because the Christmas tree, it was on. Like you must have come home." I said, "No. I've got this."
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
It's hilarious. So
S-
what else can I add on, man? I need to expand my
Yeah,
horizon
so
here.
I mean, I'm not familiar with what you have, but I mean, the Ecobee and the Nest thermostats are very popular, and so you can add intelligence to that. So if you're like, oh man, I'm not home, why did I leave the heat on? Okay, turn it off,
Oh,
with an app or stuff. But what I have done, which has freaked out a lot of people that don't, are friends that come to visit, is that at half an hour before sunset, the lights downstairs turn on, and they're like, "What just happened?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a half an hour before sunset," and that's a dynamic time. It's not at the same time every day, right? So
right. Yeah.
the Wink Hub 2 understands that, because it's talking to the cloud, and so it's kind of neat. Like, we don't have to worry about turning the lights on in the evening, and then at 9 o'clock, I'm sorry, 2 hours after sunset, I have everything dimmed to 50%, because then we're just like sitting or reading and stuff like that. But there's like, like I said the other time, I think I mentioned that like this is this is not like stable in any way, shape, or form.
No.
And it doesn't work, and it can be very frustrating for people. But
Yeah.
there's, people are dumping a lot of money into it because I really think they become addicted to
Yeah.
this
It
stuff.
is addictive. Yeah.
But you can, like I said, the thermostat is cool. You can hook up all your windows and doors with sensors to, if something opens up, you can get an alert on your phone when,
Oh yeah. Like
when
an
you're,
alarm thing. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
when you're away.
Mhm.
I just found out, and you would have to talk to your HVAC guys about this, but you can get vents um, that have Z-Wave into them so that they can open and close like the vent inside the room itself. But offline we were talking about, well, that could create some back pressure and stuff like that, so you can need to talk to your HVAC guys. But
Oh
that's
my
that
goodness.
that's a thing.
Right.
But you can do if then this
If
that.
this, then
Oh,
that.
son of a gun! That you can
That thing.
incorporate all of that, and when you turn a light on, tweet this. I turned the light on, or Harjit's Christmas tree is on.
Right.
Silly silly, nonsensical stuff like that. It'd be kind of neat if you like, hey, when this hashtag pops up, turn this light on.
Oh yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
that would be pretty ridiculous, but
That would be ridiculous. Everybody be hashtagging it all the time.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's cool though. Yeah, that's the possibilities are endless, man. That's
it really is.
crazy stuff. Yeah.
And the guys at the makerspace, they're like, oh, we're not going to buy any of that stuff. We're just going to make it on our own. I'm like, what? And
Oh
it's just
God.
like standards-based stuff, and so they're buying these little. They're not Raspberry Pis. They're not Arduino. It's a BeagleBox. And
BeagleBox.
yeah, and so it's this little box the size of like a credit card with a computer inside, and it can run flavors of Linux, and you can outfit it with different modules. So you can build your own Z-Wave or Zigbee module for it, and then attach it to something so that you can command all the stuff. I'm like, okay,
Oh yeah.
that is a level I'm not going to go to, but
Yeah, yeah,
it's interesting to hear them talk about it. And so
yeah.
it's that for the person that likes to tinker with things, that's a cool Christmas.
Oh, it is. It is.
So
Well,
like,
today I tested, so I can have my phone as a presence, instead of getting one of those dongle thingies. So my phone acts like a presence. So it has the radius around my house, so it knows that I'm in this location now, whatever, right? So I set one of the kitchen lights from work, and I said, you know what? Let's do this recipe, and if you know when I reach home, turn the thing on, and then
okay,
message me, kind of a thing, and it worked.
that's cool.
Just because I had my phone with me.
So how does the recipe know where your phone is? How do you link it together?
It detects the presence. It realizes the radius where you are. It's like the what's that Apple find your phone mechanism, right? Through GPS exactly where your phone is.
Okay.
So you set that up in your smart things configuration.
All right, got it. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. So there's a lot of things like that. I haven't gone into the whole Alexa, integration yet, but she was being a little fussy with me the other day, so.
Oh, that was a recent announcement. Microsoft is going to push heavy into that space.
Yeah,
And so like even today they had a preview of what their first device looks like, and it's that typical, it has that Cortana look
right
to it, and it's going to be able to do the same. That's exciting because it's a Microsoft thing, so I want it.
Right.
But
so
yeah, with Alexa you get very tight Amazon integration and stuff like that. But because I'm in the Microsoft world, it'll be interesting to see how all that connects to their cloud and.
So you got Amazon, you got Google, and now you got Microsoft in the space, so which is exciting.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Amazon, Alexa, did you hear the news that the W Hotel or in Las Vegas?
Oh yeah,
the Wynn Hotel in Vegas, and they're gonna be outfitting all their rooms. I don't know how many thousand rooms, but all of them are gonna have those Echo Dots, and they're gonna be programmed so you can say, Alexa, open blinds and close lights and turn off. Yeah, so it's all gonna be integrated. But now people are talking about, how much is Alexa going to be listening into your private conversations in your room, and things that happen in your room,
That's why I actually have the Alexa, is to see like the network patterns and stuff like that. And I can't talk about it on the show, but it's it's very interesting to see when it's sending data, when it's receiving data, how much data, things like that. And even the Wink Hub, I mentioned the other day to you, like all of a sudden at one night it just it uploaded 50 meg. I'm like, well, what did it just upload? And what are you going to do with it? And the Wink Hub 2 is a cloud-based system, and so it's sending statistics and stuff like that. So I'm not concerned about what they
Yeah.
know about my light bulbs. I don't care. But I'm like, oh, I wonder what was, in that payload that went up there and
Right,
stuff.
right,
So
right. It is interesting.
yeah, absolutely.
When you have this device in your own home, and whatever chatter that it has, it seems like it's contained there, right? Because it's your account, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now when it's in a hotel, obviously again they're going to be using some generic account or whatever. I can't imagine they're going to have 10,000 accounts
Right.
for each individual room. There must be some way they expanded it to, so it's all the stuff that is being spoken or whatever in the room, or you're telling it to do this or that, and some people are going to go crazy, right, with like saying stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
Alexa, can you do this for me? Alexa, can you,
Mm-hmm.
and now you got this kind of data somewhere that's stored within that organization. So I
Yeah.
don't know. It'll be very interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what,
Yeah.
it would be neat to be one of the IT management guys in that
Mhm.
organization, because like when a conference comes to town, if it's this vertical, what kind of food is everybody ordering off of
Oh,
Alexa?
right, yeah.
And so it just turned on because I said it. And things like that. It's like,
Right.
will they actually use it to enhance the services and make it for a better experience down the road, or are they going, of course they want to make more money, or will, stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
but
Well,
yeah.
the other another big news is along with the Yahoo breach was just a few days ago was the announcement of the Netgear routers that had a major vulnerability for a few of the models.
Hmm.
I know the R7000 was one of them, and R6000 or something like that. Anyways, there were two or three models that were, there was big announcements like if you have one of these, don't use it for now because it's like wide open. It's got this major hack that can be exploited and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that stinks.
yeah.
Wow.
But then I read yesterday, the Netgear has come up with a firmware update, but it's beta right now. So
Okay.
yeah, so they're trying to catch up to it.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Stuff like that. Like
That's a big deal. Yeah.
how do people just disconnect their internet nowadays?
Well, so think
So,
about that, right? So you got your router, which is the main piece that connects you to the internet,
mhm.
right, to your home, and if that is compromised, and you got these smart, home automation devices that you actually use to connect, it's just
Yep.
spirals down, right? So
Yep.
if you've got those, let's say those vents that you're talking about, someone gets in and says, you know what, I'm going to shut all these things off. Who
Absolutely.
cares?
Right.
Turn off the fridge, you know,
Hmm.
turn off the heat, and things like that. So it could, yeah,
It can get crazy. I mean,
it's
like we said a few shows ago, like we just might need to slow down on the
yeah,
innovation and work on the quality and security aspects of this stuff and make sure that someone can't get hurt.
yeah,
That's the big, because yeah, that's the big thing. But
yeah. The different world we're living in now.
it is a
So,
little
anyways,
crazy out there.
so you were mentioning to me offline, you had a very interesting beer.
Yeah, I don't recall the name of it, but the brewery is Clown Shoes, and you know how much I hate clowns. So I was like, and it was also a stout, which I'm not a big fan of, but the name, I was like, all right, I have to try this. And it was outstanding. It was
Really?
just very smooth. It had almost like a bit of, almost like a mint to it.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, you know what? This is like when I had my first, when I started drinking, I'm like, this perfectly fits the season. And maybe that's why I liked it. Because
Clown shoes. All
yeah,
right.
it was the clown shoes, so good.
Gonna have to look it up. All
Yep.
right.
I'll find out what it was, and I'll send it to you to post in the link.
Okay,
But it
sounds
was
good.
very, very good.
Well, speaking of beers, have you seen our friend Pat from Sweden? With
Man,
his
I'm so jealous of that.
what
He
was it? How many days is that? 20,
25, right?
25,
So
right?
it's
It's
a
an
beer vent. I don't know what the exact term of what he
it's
has.
like an advent
It's an advent
calendar.
calendar for beer, and there is a company on our continent that makes them in Canada, and they call it Beer Vent.
Okay.
But I wanted to get one, and so I contacted them asking, because this was like the second day of December. I was like, "Is it too late to get one?" They're like, "We're sorry, we're not allowed to sell these in the United States." I'm like, "What?" So at that point, okay, next year I'm making my own. Like, I'm
Oh,
just gonna ask for advice. Like, "Okay, what should I put in this thing?" And there we go.
right, right.
So, but
Well,
yeah,
actually, you know what you should do? Make sure you get somebody else, like build it, but have somebody else like put it in
stock it.
the different stocks. Yeah, stock it. So when you open it up, you're surprised.
That would be
Right.
cool. That would be
Yeah.
cool.
But
So,
it's pretty cool to see him, on a daily basis posting these little, was it like 10, 15-second videos on how he's like popping the
yep.
different dates and then pulling out the beer and then showing us the label and then,
Yep.
it's pretty fun,
And
pretty
then, like,
interesting.
later in the day, it wasn't so good.
Yeah,
Like, it stunk.
it's
But
stuck.
yeah,
Anyway, so that's cool.
it is pretty
All
cool.
right. So
We
I think
covered
we
what we
talked.
needed to cover, I think, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, hey, Christmas is coming up. End of next week, and I guess it's going to be a mad dash for last minute projects and things that need to be done at work. I guess, right?
Yo, yeah.
Yeah, and then New Year's after that, like the week after. So, I guess we'll catch up with our viewers next week sometime.
Definitely.
Yeah. So until next time, I'm Harjit. You'll find me on Twitter as Hoorge, Hoorge.
And I'm Prayer. You can find me on Twitter at ITPrayer. And that's all, folks.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bork, bork, bork.